So guys, as usual, we've had to change our plans. There's a major storm coming, 60km/h winds, forecast 90 where we're heading down the west coast of Skye. The van was getting battered last night. At about midnight, we had to move from where we were parked up on the cliffs. 30km/h winds now, and it's going up to 60, 65 by the morning, gusts. And we don't want to be on the edge of a kind of a cliff, exposed. Van's rocking a little bit, and we don't want Charlie to get scared and get all funny.
Let's move.
Let's go, come on.
Oh, can I just stay in bed while you drive?
He's confused, isn't he?
Yeah, poor little thing. Sorry, Benny.
Van was shaking. It was rocking. The water jug is moving like something out of Jurassic Park. Little butterfly Lily, when she's bobbing up and down and we're stationary, it's not a good sign. Yeah, so we were going to head down the west coast of Skye and go and see some more things, but as it's going to be hitting 90km/h winds, I think we're going to give it a miss. The dogs are scared, looking up at the sunroof as if it's going to be ripped off, which quite possibly could. So we're going to have to leave Skye and head back across the bridge if we can, because apparently they can close the bridge in high winds. I mean, this is just nuts. It's not fun. We've always said the worst element is the wind. We've had experiences in the wind before back in Croatia where vans are overturned and stuff, and it's not much fun. It's a little bit scary, especially for the dogs. So yeah, we're gonna leave Skye. We need to get off this west coast. The storm is coming and we don't want to be here for that.
I think the best thing to do is head back down to Portree in the next hour or so, regroup there, and then look at getting the bridge over back to the mainland, because it's just going to get worse. I mean, 90km/h winds. We don't want to do that. Severe gales. We don't want to do severe gales.
It's a bit unfortunate though, because down the west coast there seem to be loads of nice park-ups right on the cliff, overlooking the sea. There's loads of spots you could actually park, unlike, a lot of the places we've visited so far.
Right, I think we are ready to leave Skye. We have actually done a few things in Skye, haven't we, darling?
Yes, we have. Thankfully.
We haven't just arrived and now we're leaving again. Can you just grab that a second?
Yes, luckily we did travel up the east coast and we did see some of the major sites and things to do. We did go to the old manor store. We did go to the Quirang, I think it is, and we did see an amazing waterfall that's just dropping off the cliffs into the sea. We will show you more of what we've seen on Skye a little bit later in the vlog, but right now we need to head south and get back down to Portree before this weather gets any worse. So guys, we made it to Portree, thankfully. The weather has got a lot worse, so it's now pouring with rain and the winds have increased, but we made it here. We've just parked up at the visitor centre where it's free to park. Just having a quick coffee and doing some checks on the van. We can check the van ourselves thanks to our friends over at Carly. This is Carly's OBD reader scanner diagnostic report creator. Basically, it's a smart mechanic. You plug it into the OBD reader, open up their app, and then you can do all sorts of things. You can run diagnostics on your vehicle to see if you have any issues. It'll identify the issues and it'll give you lots of information on them. You can consult with like a smart mechanic. You can check on your batteries. You can have live data coming through. You can do stuff with your emissions. Lots of options on there, lots of things to play around with. It's just a really handy little bit of kit. Checks complete. We've just run a couple of checks on the van. It's identified a number of problems, but nothing major. There's an issue with the glow plugs, which we knew about because we've been getting the warning light. The rear fog light out. 2 error messages to do with the radio. The radio has never worked. So that's all good.
Pretty happy with that. You can use Carly for absolutely free. You can go onto their website, you can download the free app. You don't actually need to pay for anything. They've got several free features on there for you to help diagnose problems with your car. Now, if you're interested in getting one of these and having one of their paid packages, there's a 15% discount. You can use our code and we'll leave all of the details in the description box below. Right, we were going to stay here for a little bit, but the rain is just getting really bad and we're really worried that they're going to close the bridge. We actually just met some people in this car park. Hi guys, we're away.
Oh, I'm dying to meet them for ages.
We're going to see them again, I think. But they said, oops, they said that already that the ferries are closed to come over and they've been told that the weather's getting worse as well. So I don't know whether we should just scarper a bit quick. I was going to go in the visitor centre and use those really nice loos. Have we got time for that?
Always got time for a really nice loo.
Really nice toilets. Couldn't film over there because it's just so many people. Like
in the toilet?
So yeah, everywhere. The visitor centre is full. There's a queue for the toilets.
There's a pizza restaurant here and a candle shop. It smells so nice.
A very nice candle shop, but very expensive too. All their products are really expensive. And you can actually stay and spend the night in this car park. It's £10 to park your camper overnight. Watch this big lorry coming down. This weather is hectic. Oh, I got soaked. Oh, I went around that corner and it came the other way. That hit me right in the eyes and everything.
Look at that, it's crazy. Just pulled over to let some cars pass, looking across the mountains opposite, across the water, and it's just mental. All these waterfalls that weren't there on the way down, and then the rain is just being blown by the wind. It's like waves going across the sky, and then in the water it's like mini tornadoes.
Sounds like the bloody sunroof's gonna blow off. Let's keep moving before this bridge closes.
It's mental.
Yeah, so we've got like a 3.5 ton van and the wind blows and it proper pushes you to one side. Like it's pretty scary. We made it off the island! Alrighty, okay, so we have left Skye. Thankfully, we got off before they closed the bridge or the road going across. It was a hell of a drive. You could feel the van like this. It was pretty scary. So now we are parked up at Eilean, Donan Castle.
10 minutes walk from quite a scenic castle just on the edge of a loch. There's a little sort of bridge going out to it. Looks really nice. It's tipping down with rain though, so we can't go out and film it or anything. So
we're just in a little car park. It's like long car parks. It was on Park for Night. There's 3 or 4 other vans. We just took the last spot. It's kind of sheltered-ish. There's a little pub there. We might go and have a little drink in the pub in a minute. And I think this is us for the night because tomorrow is supposed to be a little bit wet, a little bit better weather.
Skye though, to be fair, before we arrived we checked the forecast and it was forecast like a week of rain. Like it didn't show any sunshine on the forecast, but then every day we had a little bit of sunshine.
We managed to get out and do things. So.
Yeah, we did do things. We did see things. As we mentioned at the start of the video, we did a few hikes. We went to the Old Man of Store. Took the dogs up there. That was a bit of fun. Definitely worth doing that hike. It's about 2 hours up to the top and back, like a round trip.
From the car park, yeah.
Yeah, there's a few different circuits you can do. There's the easy one or the longer one. Quite steep in places, but yeah, well trodden path. There's like some stone steps leading up there.
Yeah, and then you get to the top, and obviously you have the famous view, and yeah, it's brilliant actually. It was very, very windy when we got towards the top. It's terribly windy. You probably can't even hear what I'm saying. This is really, really hard. And we made a mistake of taking the dogs. Now, we like to take the dogs on a hike, okay? And sometimes we don't if we're just sort of barging up there. And this is a time when we shouldn't have, because it was windy and the poor little dogs got really scared as we got towards the top viewpoint, to the point where Charlie just actually froze because of the wind.
Quite scary, worried about him.
And we were really worried, so we had to pick him up and we turned round, so we couldn't go all the way to the very top. And to be fair, I didn't really want to go all the way to the very top.
We're pretty much there
anyway.
though. I mean, you go up some steps and you go in between the sort of huge rock pillars type thing, and then you go on along a fairly narrow path, and then the very last bit, the mound where you get the view back down, we couldn't get to because a little bit in between was really gusty.
A lot of people weren't going up there actually because it was pretty hairy with the wind, but a brilliant hike nonetheless, definitely.
Unfortunately couldn't get the drone up because it's too windy, but yeah, definitely worth doing. And then we also did one of the other highlights of coming to Skye, which is the Quirang. I preferred it, to be fair. Stunning drive to get all the way to the top of the mountain. There's a huge car park, paid car park, and then from there you can do various hikes. Again, the clouds were coming in, so you can do a hike up to the top of the mountain. Didn't do that. We sort of walked along
the edge of the
edge.
Kind of cliff edge, if you like. Not cliff edge, but mountain edge. It's like cut out of the mountain, and you can do this little walk that goes all the way along to kind of towards the rock formations.
But with that hike, you've already got the views straight away because you drive up to the top, so then you just, stunning views down the valley to the sea, and then all these crazy
so you don't
formations.
actually have to do any kind of hiking. You can drive all the way up there and just have a little wander around, and then
you don't even need to get out. Well, you need to get out,
you
but
need to get out your car.
Walk to the viewpoint. But yeah,
it was pretty busy up there. As I mentioned before, Skye is very busy with tourists, even this time of year. But yeah, again, pretty stunning.
It's like otherworldly scenery. See, the thing is with Skye, I mean, people have raved about it. We've heard so much about it. It's quite touristy, as we mentioned. And you have got these incredibly epic places like the Quirang, like the Old Man of Store. But in between that, it's a bit barren, isn't it?
It's a bit barren,
It's a bit barren.
So we were kind of saying, do you think it's a little bit overrated? Because the amount of tourists are there. It's very hard to take your van there and find park-ups. Even if you stayed at campsites, there's not many campsites, like paid campsites. And they get all booked out completely. So it's difficult. And then you're left with just lay-bys,
and
basically.
we refuse to stay in lay-bys because there's sort of the main road going all the way around the island and then little roads going off. But if you're in a lay-by, lorries are going past and cars are going past.
And it's quite a busy road. It gets quiet at night, obviously, but it's constant traffic because it's constant people and very touristy. So, I mean, it's nice. I definitely would not like to go there in the summer. No way. Because of how busy
and
it was.
a lot more people.
Yeah, and I just think there's a lot to Scotland, and as Skye seems to be like one of the most popular places, I was just like, well, I don't know. I think it's slightly overrated.
But we didn't see the whole
I was just going to say that. We didn't, because of the weather, we left today without doing the west side, and we didn't go to the fairy pools either, which are supposed to be stunning.
I think they're just small pools, but we didn't go there, so I can't say anything. But we saw that stunning waterfall as well. There's loads of waterfalls, obviously, especially when there's loads of rain, but went to the waterfall, which just sort of drops off the cliffs into the sea. There's a car park right next to there, so you don't have to walk very far, but that's stunning views of the waterfall and down the sort of rocky coastline, because I think you've got the mountains kind of in the centre of Skye, then it's sort of a bit barren, and then you get to the coastline, it just drops off. The coastline, the bits you can access is probably quite stunning.
Yeah, look, it's beautiful. Everywhere is beautiful up here in Scotland, and Skye is also very beautiful, but for me personally, it was just a little bit too touristy and a bit problematic taking your van there and trying to find park-ups.
And very un-van friendly.
Yes.
If that makes sense.
As you've seen last week, we got a couple of knocks on the door because the locals aren't happy with how many vans are there, obviously, and for good reason too. I don't blame them, It must get so hounded in the summer. We did see Highland cows.
Yes.
So that actually put a big
That was
smile
the best
on our
part,
faces.
wasn't it?
That was the best part. We stopped by. We just seen him in a field, so we just pulled in there, and there was, I think, 3 right near the fence, so we could just like see them and take some pictures and stuff like that. So that was very nice.
That was nice, but then the tourists ruin it as well, because then like little minibuses pull up and then they're trying to grab the horns of the
Yes, I had to
Island
tell one
cows
man
and-
off, and I said, I don't think the cow wants his horn grabbed. But anyway, it was good. It was good.
I'm glad we went, and yeah,
A shame we didn't see the west side.
but I think we saw the highlights.
I think we did see the highlights, and the hikes are really outstanding.
Yeah, incredible. So yeah, glad we went, but I'd like to do a couple of the other islands next time, maybe the Island Mull or something.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, that's Skye done. That's another one ticked off the list.
Yeah, so we've seen what all the fuss is about. We have heard quite a lot of people rave about it, so at least we've been there to see it now, and yeah, it was good. So now, what's now then, darling?
Now, I think we're going to make some food, but I think we're going to pop to the pub.
Pop to the pub.
Pop
Why
to
not?
the pub. We deserve a little drink after being
After that
blasted
drive,
by the...
I know.
Yeah, so pop to the pub and then make some food, and then tomorrow is a new day. The sun is shining.
He hopes.
It's
He
gonna
wishes.
Be a good day. Go on, Jolly, jump in.
Oh, here
Look
he
here,
is.
the little superhero. Look at him. What do you think of the jacket, guys? Do you think he looks something out of, I don't know, Marvel, Super Dog?
That's kept you warm, hasn't it, that? Or a little bit drier?
Generally drier.
Your ages.
I know, yeah, we're just seeing another subscriber, so we're aware that we've seen like 3 or 4 people on Skye. Hello to everyone. And yeah, a subscriber's parked in the van at the end, so just got chatting to him. Just getting some tips on Scotland.
Tips that we're not going to use.
Yeah, because we're not going further north on this trip. Next trip maybe. Anyway, come on, pass me the other dog. It's supposed to be stopping raining at 7.
Really?
Yeah. So, and then first, yeah, it's going to be nice first thing tomorrow morning. You can walk 5 minutes to the castle under underpass down that way. So, yeah, we'll do that tomorrow morning.
See, what we do when it's this bad weather is we just take one dog out at a time. Then you got one wet dog. Then Nick's going to now take Dizzy out, so I've got time to sort of get Charlie dry. And we've only got one wet jacket because Dizzy will now put that on. Believe me, it works. This is the best way to do it when it's torrential rain.
Charlie, you've got to be wiped. You've got to be wiped.
Wait there, Mummy, get the towel. Look, his back's completely dry.
I know.
Actually, yeah, he would have got soaked normally. So these jackets are pretty good. We just picked them up from, I think, Home Bargains?
Home bargain.
Or something
Much
like
better
that.
than Aldi's, weren't they?
One of the discount stores the other day, they were like £3 or something like that, and they're really good, aren't they? So we have got them one each, but yeah, it's just easier to take them like that. Right, go on then, Diz. Go you, Pepper.
Come on then, little superhero number 2.
Right, doggies are pooed, all pooed out, and it stopped raining a little bit, so we're going to the pub. Good morning, Scotland. We're ready to go out and see the castle, but every time we go to step out the door, it does this. We should have been up out of bed a bit earlier today. Well, Nick was up, but he was chatting.
You know what they say though, darling? The early bird catches the worm, and the bird that wakes up a little bit later normally catches a snake.
He loves that one.
Just waiting for the snake to come past.
It's also extremely windy again, so there's no drone shots today, I don't think. But we will go and see this castle before we leave this spot. Here's the babies. Hello, Charlie. Hello. And I will just point out that very colourful, nice backing to our sofa now, stroke headboard. So we met this lovely couple on a campsite in Skye. What campsite was it? Portree.
Portree campsite, yeah.
Portree campsite where we spent a night, and we met this lovely couple. And what were their names, darling?
I think it's Phil and Tracy.
I think it was Chris.
Chris, yes.
Thank you so much. You're so lovely, and you gave us they're actually towels. This lovely colourful patch at the back there. They're actually quick drying towels, but we're like, oh, they're too nice and colourful to use as towels, so we've actually got them on the sofa. So thank you so much. Oh, darling, it's stopped raining. That's it.
We've got a window of opportunity. Oh, the clouds are moving quickly. Let's go. Oh, it's rain's there. Which way are the clouds going? Check the app. How long have we got?
Just grab your drone, grab the cameras, and let's get out of here.
Okay, so we're going to see the castle. We're leaving the dogs in the van just in case it pees down with rain.
Look at this red house. Isn't it pretty?
It's nice, isn't it? We met some other subscribers here who I was chatting to this morning. Lovely couple and their son who are travelling around. I don't think I asked their names. Obviously they knew ours. And I've forgotten the names of the dogs as well. They had two really sweet dogs. But yeah, if you watch this video, send us a message and say yeah, we were chatting to you down here.
And Nick was chatting to them for ages, actually, about an hour or 2 hours this morning, weren't you? When I was in bed getting on with work.
Getting on with work, yeah, right.
That sounds weird, doesn't it? In bed getting on with work, but I do like to sit in bed with my coffee, get my laptop, and just do emails and things like that.
That's normally what happens. I say make the bed, but you know, it's the dogs, isn't it? Dizzy doesn't want to get out of bed when it's cold. We do mean to. We always say we're going to get up early, get out, get some nice, sunrise shots. But when you don't see the sun rising and it's windy and raining outside, it doesn't inspire you to get up and get out.
But now the rain's stopped. Look at this scenery. It's blinking beautiful, isn't it? Gosh, look at that. Is this just someone's garden? This is exactly how our land's going to look.
Raised beds, little gravel paths. That's what we want. A little path around the perimeter.
Obviously, it's going to be a little bit different to this, but that'd be the dream, wouldn't it, to have something like that?
Yeah. So stay tuned. We have got some rocks there sort of just outside the border of our land, so we may just move the fence and claim them. Sure, no one will say anything.
Exciting getting back there, isn't it, and doing some bits and bobs, and then you go away for a few months, go back and it's completely overgrown and back to how it was before you started doing all the work.
We are really excited about seeing it green as well.
We've seen it on the cameras and we've spoken to our friends.
This is handy if it starts peeing down rain.
Yeah.
Wow, look at this. 2 minutes walk from the car park.
Nice scene with the bridge, isn't it? Wow. Gosh. Yeah, with the orange seaweed and stuff as well, don't you think? That's a scene, that is, isn't it?
Oh, look at these benches. I'm going to make a bench like this for the land, darling.
This is definitely how we're going to have our benches on our land. So, yeah, make sure you film that because we are copying that.
Look at that castle, guys. How incredible is that? It's got to be one of the most iconic castles in Scotland.
And we didn't even know that Eilean Donan, I don't even know I'm saying the Eilean, is actually the word for island of Donan, basically.
Didn't even know that.
Didn't even know that.
Did not know that. Did you know that?
I thought that was Eilean Donan was just the name of the castle, but it's the name of the...
I thought it was Eilean. Eilean Donan. I thought Eileen's a funny name. Anyway, look at the location. Sat on this incredible bridge going across. It's beautiful.
Beautiful. And we were actually going to just drive straight past here, weren't we? Last night when it was miserable weather, we weren't going to stop. We were going to carry on going. So I'm really glad that we stopped off here.
Yeah, I think we had to stop.
It's really impressive. I didn't even realise when we just drove across that bridge, you couldn't see it. You get up close and it's really impressive.
Yeah, last night we couldn't see hardly anything. The rain came in, it was all misty. You could barely make out the castle.
It just looked crap from the bridge, didn't it?
Yeah.
Anyway, there's quite a lot of history. We've been looking at the history on the website. Basically, it was built in the 13th century, but before that it was kind of occupied in the 7th century by some Irish saint, and his name was Bishop Donan. And yeah.
Was he married to Eilean? No, Eilean's island, yeah, sorry,
Eilean
yeah.
is the word for island.
So the saint settled here, did he? And he had a commune or something?
Yeah, apparently they believe, obviously it was so long ago, so they're not sure exactly, but he had a little community like on the island, and then the castle was built way later in the 13th century, and then there's lots of history. It was a very defensive point because apparently the Vikings took over a massive part of all of northern Scotland, I think, back in the day.
And this was kind of separate, was it?
This was kind of separate, and it was a good defensive point once that castle went up. And then over the years, over the centuries, not just years, centuries, it was obviously, you know, there was different battles going on, and actually the Spanish came and
came and occupied it. Can you believe that? What they're doing up here?
They did. They came and kind of took over to a certain degree, and then when they were waiting for cannons and things to arrive from Spain, the English got wind of it, and they came up here,
bought them some of their big boats and battered.
Basically took out the Spanish, and they also took out most of the castle. And then after that, the castle was just lay in ruin for a couple of hundred years, not being done anything with until 1911, when, I'll put his name on screen, this guy here bought the island and then made it to what it is today, which took him 20 years to build it to what we see today, pretty much. So
it's crazy.
yeah.
So much history, and if you go on the website, you can look into it, and there's probably even more than what we've just reeled off really quickly. But
that was a recap.
In
Sarah's,
that was the trailer.
In Sarah's words as well. So, you know, the details might be slightly different, but yeah, we're very impressed.
But it's an amazing location. You can imagine it, can't you? Because you've got this huge lock, so the sea comes in, and you know the big galleys and boats could be coming up here, and this incredible location to protect inland Scotland, where the boats would go up.
It's very interesting. I'm not sure when the bridge was built, though. It doesn't say about the bridge, because obviously it was just an island, and I can imagine it was a bigger island back in the day, because otherwise, you know what I mean, it must have been bigger, don't you think?
It's just such a cool location, because without the stone bridge you wouldn't be able to get across to it, or you'd be wading across this sort of waterlogged. This is low tide, so it's low tide now, so when the high tide comes in, it'll be completely separated by water.
Very impressive indeed. I highly recommend coming. Now, we're not going into the castle.
You're not even going across the bridge.
No, you have to pay for the parking that's here, which is I think £3 or £4, and then you have to pay to cross the bridge, which is another £3, and then you have to pay again to go into the castle. So it's a little bit of a funny system. We're just kind of happy to view it from here, and
send that little bird in the sky.
Yeah, so we're going to move on now.
Hi guys, we're back in the van and we're ready to continue.
Yeah!
Where are we going, darling? Where are we going?
Wouldn't you like to know? We're going to a very famous place now, aren't we? Well, we'll probably end up stopping on the way, to be fair, though, because it's just too nice, isn't it?
It's too nice.
Too nice, the scenery.
In between there are showers of rain and stuff.
Yeah. So we'll just drive and we'll see where we end up. Darling, I'm filming the busyness.
The busyness?
Oh, what have you done? What did you do?
I crushed my finger in the door.
I told you should have had just a half.
Shut up.